Hello, my Stark Rays friends. This is Mark McNutt here, the Astro Wizard, with my wizard lizard, because I don't have a cat in my lap at the moment. And this is the February slash Aquarius version of my monthly uptake on the stars and all that. Now, this does not replace a astrological reading from a true professional like myself or others, but it's very handy in terms of a commentary on the overview of things. Now, it's Aquarian time, Sun, Moon, Pluto, and Mercury in Aquarius, several planets in Pisces, Venus, Neptune, Saturn, and there's been a lot going on lately. So as you know, we've had a change in the government, and we've had a lot of challenging situations. And if you're tuning in to be like, okay, what's going to be my commentary on that? I feel that resistance is not in the foray right now with our retrograde Mars, with the meanings of the planets right now. Well, I'll tell you, things are changing. It's a time for transformation. And how do we want to be on that wave of transformation? That's what I want to put my energy into right now. And focusing definitely on Pluto and Pluto entering Aquarius. Personally, I don't think that the outer planets enter a new sign until they're totally there and don't retrograde out of that place. So I've seen other astrologers over the years being like, oh, I can't wait, this planet's going in this new place, like Pluto and Aquarius. Well, the bright side of that is about humanitarian values and a transformation in that direction. But I remember back in 1996 when Uranus was going into Aquarius, and all kinds of astrologers and other aficionados were very enamored of that and being like, all right, good, the new age is coming in. And first, the day that happened, Clinton surprisingly cut welfare and turned it into workfare on that day. And, it was very challenging for a lot of people. And we're going through similar challenges now, only it's plutonic, not just Uranian weird stuff. It's Pluto. With Pluto, okay, there's a term, plutocrats. And Pluto has to do with hidden wealth and the prediction that the plutocrats would, become more and more the ones that are in charge and that sort of thing. One could argue if they, oh, hi, you want to join me? One could argue that they have been running things for a long time, but we've gone from a democracy to a plutocracy. And just as Pluto's entering Aquarius, and so here we are. This is Zeus, or roly-poly fluffykins. And so things are changing, things are transforming, and we have two choices. We have a choice of resisting, at which point it's going to wear us out, and we're dealing with a culture that resonates with conflict and likes opposition. So now I'm going to talk about all the other stuff as it exists, because Pluto moving into Aquarius with the Sun and Moon and Mercury and all that, it's an opportunity for transformation. It's a transformation of mind, of attitudes, and of and inventiveness. So each planet is lending its abilities and its energy to moving things in a whole different direction. So the plutocracy has taken control, but it doesn't have to be the end of times. It's the beginning of something new, and that is going to be. We're being challenged right now for where to put our energies, where to put our attitudes, and where to invest. And the obvious solution is invest in people, invest in your community, invest in your group, invest in the things which really nurture humanitarian interests. And this is the way that we're that we're being strong, not by opposing, but by creating another vibration that is stronger. And we're being called on to be very clever right now. And that's also the Aquarian thing. Aquarius does not live in the present. Aquarius dreams the future and brings it in and talks about it and dialogues it. And then naturally, after Aquarius, we go into Pisces, where the dreaming is so important, as with Saturn in Pisces now, and Venus conjunct Neptune at the time of the new moon. And then, then we move into Aries, taking action, and finally things are grounded through the sign Taurus and through the planetary passages there. So there's a cycle going on. This cycle of politics and all that, likely to go on for years, maybe even decades. But the other side of that is that people will look back on this time, and they'll be also talking about all the innovation and the creativity that emerges under the squeeze of the plutocracy at this time. So I'm an Aquarius Pisces cusp, February 19th, so I totally believe in the future. And there's a part of me that lives in the future, and there's a part of me that brings in the future with my being. And so that's a creative impulse that I share with all of you. Now, it's time once again for our monthly feature, Voices of the Planets. And sorry, the reverb isn't there yet. So I'm now going to, after I pet my kitty, this is Treasure. This is the mom of the last one we just saw for a minute. And so the voices of the planets. Let's start with the sun. I am the sun, I am bold, I am powerful. You cannot ignore me. And because I am the overwhelming energy that brings light and life. And at this time, here, the northern hemisphere, my light is diminished. And that's why Imbolc happens, and that's why there's the dawning that happens at this time. But it's opposite the sun in Leo, which is Leo is the full measure of the demonstrative of the sun, and I am the winter sun. I bring reflection, I bring hibernation, I bring a looking within in order to create the new path. And so I'm here this month to help you, and I'm aided by Mercury and Pluto and the moon, and we're moving into a whole new direction. So I bring my gift to you. And I am the moon. I go through all the signs. In the course of a month or a month, I reflect to you all the different qualities of emotion. And so as the moon, I'm the lens of change. I will bring fullness in this full moon in the middle of the month, and then I will distribute my energy, and there'll be lots of awareness of the future, and the path will become clear. But follow your emotions. Follow how things feel now, because your heart will always be your guide and will always show you the way of feeling is the way of the world. And I'm Mercury. I balance with the energy of the moon and the emotional energy, for I am the energy of change and of thought and of the mental environment that we all live in. So here I am. Once again, after my retrograde, my necessary unwind, I'm going into Aquarius. And so in Aquarius, I'm going to stimulate ideas, people, and and the solutions that can come from the genius of working together. And I am Venus. I'm the planet of love, and I'm aware of the compassion of now, but then I go into Aries, and then I go retrograde, because the teachings of Mars are not complete yet without the teachings of Venus. So Venus retrograde, I will bring you the awareness of relationships and what no longer needs to happen, and what you can cast off and forgive, and what you can come in and embrace and bring into your heart. I bring compassion to the picture with my higher octave Neptune. And I am Neptune, I am the dreamer, and I am at the maximum time of dreaming and planting the dream seeds for us to move into in the future. For the next phase, I will be moving into Aries, a whole new realm, first time in 168 years. And I will be bringing in new opportunities and new inspirations as we come out of this dream time into the springtime doing. I am Mars. I'm retrograde right now because this must be a necessary time for us to relook at our aggression, our anger, our violence, our push, because this is the dark side for the Mars energy at this time, where the push is allowed to be a vibrant time of chaos and a negative form of creativity. So as I'm here dwelling in Cancer, I remind each other to remember who your family is, and to remember how many petty disagreements we can let go of and we can release, because it's like ballast, and we need to rise in our hot air balloon and take over the skies. And so I will be in Cancer for a really long time, and I will not go past the retrograde point until May 1st. So I inspire you all to remember the changes and to forgive and to let go. Do not oppose. Move forward. Show your genius there. And I am Jupiter. I'm turning around too. I'm going forward. The happy days may be coming again, because Jupiter in Gemini, I'm the focus of the mind and communication. It's time to network, folks, and we can come together as Jupiter trines all these Aquarian planets, and it's time to remember once again to come out of the winter and out of the doldrums and to connect. And that is my wavelength right now. It's Jupiter and Gemini. And finally, the realm of Saturn. So Saturn right now, Saturn in Pisces, and in Pisces I bring two lessons. I bring the lesson of letting go of the rigidity of my own discipline, and I also bring in the lesson of the transformation that can occur by believing. So we can dissolve the past and we can move in the future by believing. I've come out of retrograde, Jupiter's come out of retrograde, Uranus has come out of retrograde, Mars will still be there until the 23rd of February, but we're all working together, and we're working past the log jams of Uranus and Taurus and moving into the light in many ways. But you have to dream it to do it. And so I call on you to do creative dreaming and put that dreaming into a rooting. Plant your plants, and remember that the spring is inevitably coming. So I want to thank you for this, and my kitties thank you, don't you? And so get your reading, get your personal reading, because that's an important awareness of what's going on now. We can individually go beyond challenges if we're aware of how to play our cards, and it's time to inspire the genius within and to communicate it to each other. So blessings on you all. Happy Imbolc. Here we are moving to the next phase.